A janitor named Ronald Reed died in 2014 in a small town in Vermont. He never earned more than minimum wage his entire life. When they read his will, his family and friends nearly collapsed. Ronald Reed had quietly accumulated an $8 million fortune. Meanwhile, a study from 2023 found that 1 in 3 households earning over $200,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if everything you believe about getting rich is built on a lie? Stick with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to break down the single most powerful wealth-building principle that exists. It's not complicated. It's not sexy. And that's exactly why almost nobody does it. Let's start with the lie. The lie is that income equals wealth. We've been conditioned since childhood to believe that the path to being rich is earning more money. Get the degree, land the high-paying job, climb the ladder, and eventually you'll be wealthy. But here's what actually happens. You get your first real job making $50,000 a year and you feel rich. You upgrade your apartment. You finance a nicer car. You start eating out more because you deserve it, right? Then you get a raise to $70,000. Do you invest that extra $20,000? Of course not. You move to a better neighborhood. You pick up a few subscriptions. Maybe you start traveling more. By the time you're earning $100,000 or even $150,000, your lifestyle has expanded to swallow every single dollar. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent killer of wealth. It doesn't feel like a problem because you're comfortable. You look successful. But behind the scenes, your net worth is barely moving. You've built a lifestyle that depends on you showing up to work every single Monday for the next 30 years. That's not wealth. That's a golden cage. So if income isn't the key variable, what is? It's your savings rate. That's it. That's the whole trick. The percentage of your income that you consistently don't spend is the single strongest predictor of whether you will ever build real wealth. Not your salary, not your job title, not whether you pick the right stocks, your savings rate. Thomas Stanley spent decades studying millionaires for his research that became The Millionaire Next Door. You know what he found? The typical American millionaire isn't driving a BMW. They're driving a used Toyota. They're not living in a mansion. They're in a modest house in a middle-class neighborhood. They don't look rich because they're too busy actually becoming rich. Meanwhile, the people who look wealthy are often the ones drowning in debt, trying to maintain an image. Stanley found that the average millionaire in America lives on less than 7% of their total accumulated wealth per year. They are professional underspenders. That's their superpower. Now, here's where this gets really exciting and honestly a little bit haunting if you haven't started yet. Let's run some real math. Say you're 30 years old and you start investing $500 a month into a simple low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500. Historically, that index has returned roughly 10% per year on average. If you do absolutely nothing else, just $500 a month, every month, by the time you're 60, you will have over $1.1 million. You put in $180,000 of your own money. The market gave you over $900,000 in gains. That's compound interest. That's your money making money while you sleep and eat and argue about movies on the internet. Now bump that up to $1,000 a month. Same timeline, same return. You're looking at over $2.2 million. And if you can push to $1,500 a month, you're crossing $3 million. The gap between those scenarios isn't about earning more. It's about directing more of what you already have into assets that grow. Every dollar you spend on something you don't truly need is a dollar that can never compound for you. I'm not saying never enjoy your money. I'm saying be intentional about it. There's a massive difference between spending on things you genuinely love and spending on things you barely notice because everyone around you is spending too. So how do you actually implement this? Here's a framework that works. First, automate your savings. The day your paycheck hits, a predetermined amount should move automatically into your investment accounts before you even see it. You cannot spend what you never touch. Set up automatic contributions to a 401k, a Roth IRA, or a taxable brokerage account. If your employer offers a 401k match, take every penny of that match. It's literally free money. Not taking it is the financial equivalent of leaving a $100 bill on the sidewalk every single week. Second, run a lifestyle audit. Go through your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. I guarantee you'll find hundreds of dollars going to things that add almost zero value to your life. I'm not talking about canceling Netflix. I'm talking about the 4 subscriptions you forgot about, the impulse Amazon orders, the upgraded plans you never use. Redirect that money into investments. Third, adopt the 48-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $100. Wait 2 days. If you still want it and it fits your budget, buy it guilt-free. You'll be stunned how often the urge evaporates. Fourth, redefine what rich looks like in your own mind. Rich is not a leased Mercedes. Rich is waking up on a Tuesday morning and realizing you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Rich is options. Rich is freedom. The moment you internalize that, the temptation to spend for status loses its grip on you. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Building wealth is boring. It's automatic transfers and index funds and saying no to things that don't matter so you can eventually say yes to everything that does. It's not a hack. It's not a shortcut. It's a slow, quiet, unglamorous process that works every single time for the people patient enough to stick with it. Ronald Reed knew this. A janitor who never made more than $12 an hour knew this. The question is whether you're willing to act on it. If this video shifted something in how you think about money, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Subscribe if you haven't already, because next week, we're getting into a topic that could save you thousands of dollars every single year, and almost nobody takes advantage of it. You're not going to want to miss that one. I'll see you there.